here with Nick and Mr. Paris.
Hey, we're
and
here.
We have Mr. Carl outside.
Hey, now we're in the house.
Yes, and we've got Bella, who's our hair model, and it's a happy Tuesday. And if you're watching Brooklyn Live, obviously you can watch it on Instagram, which is what we're on here, but you can also watch it on YouTube, which is a more professional and a little bit more studio-like, filming live here from studio in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And this studio concept is really getting really good. So studio is the salon of today. You know, I don't want to say the future because we don't know what the future is going to happen, but I am working on a concept for studio which is going to be spectacular. And this is a 32-chair location here in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. And it's also got obviously a studio within it, 5 cameras. It's a photo studio, a video studio, it's an event space. And we're working on some really exciting things, so stay tuned. HairStudioNY.com. I think that's what it's called, isn't it, Paris?
Hair Studio NY, that's right.
HairStudioNY.com, and we're really focusing on creating like the next environment for how I think hairdressers should connect and communicate. But let me go back to the real thing, the real thing, which is how do you create success for yourself? Yeah? And what's that all about? Because, you know, it's the holidays here in New York. People have been away because of the different Jewish holidays. It's a little quiet. The question is what do you do when it gets quiet? Where do you go? How do you turn up? And what do you do to help make yourself busy? Yeah? Yeah, I tend to find that, you know, if you sit back and wait for it to happen, nothing's ever going to happen. So what you have to do is you have to kind of keep it simple, but you have to do something. You know, I'm always amazed at people that call up the day before and say, what's my book like today? I know what my book looks like a week out. I'm constantly focusing on, you know, what's the day going to look like? I check the schedule and I check into my client's situation. And when I first began Arrojo, there wasn't any clients. I was downtown. I'd moved from midtown to downtown. It was very difficult for me to expect my clients to travel. So the objective was, how am I going to get busy? So you get busy by getting busy. You get busy by giving unconditionally. What does that mean? It means that if you want to create your perfect clientele, then guess what? You've got to go out and find your perfect clientele. And you've got to do something to make that happen. We're still training. We've got new stylists on the floor. When they're not busy, I don't know why they're not busy. Yeah, and busy can just be one client. Because if you do one new client every time you have a day on the floor, that's going to guarantee that you're going to be busy. Even if you do a house model. There's so many, you know, great-looking people out there, works in restaurants, bars, work in offices, ad agencies. You've got to go and find the clientele and build that clientele for you. You do that by putting yourself out there. Social media is a great thing, but everybody's doing it. So you have to do the social side, but you've actually got to get real people in to your chair so that every day when you get up for work, you got something to look forward to. Nobody wants to wake up to go to work and have a quiet day. Nobody. But you only have a quiet day if you've not prepared for it to be a busier day. You can't allow yourself to walk into work and have a quiet day. And you can change the paradigm. It's about intention. This morning, actually late last night, I've been working out. I've been trying to stay healthy because healthy body, healthy mind. Yeah, I work out not for the muscles, because I don't have too many, but I work out for the brain. You know, it's like the energy and the enthusiasm. So it helps me, kind of like a defense mechanism when you work out, because you feel like you're empowered. So when you have these things that hit you every day, throughout the day, you can still stay positive. So I think there's a direct correlation between, you know, working out and actually staying positive. So when you're not feeling that positive, the best advice I would give to anybody would be go down to the gymnasium and start doing a little bit of working out and get that heart rate going. And that's what I'm doing, because guess what? As you get older, you got to stay healthy and you got to stay young, and you got to kind of keep working on yourself. So yesterday, about 10 o'clock last night, my ankle started hurting. And I was hobbling, and I got the kids into bed, and I was hobbling up and down. And I got into bed around about midnight, and I was concerned about the morning because I had to get my kids to school, and I have a house up in Westchester. And I woke up this morning at 5 o'clock, and I was like, I wanted to go to the gym, but I couldn't even walk. Yeah, I could not even walk. And then I texted my first client, and I said, I don't think I'm going to make it today. And I was like concerned, because consistency is king. If you want, and you got to service the clients. Remember, we're in the service business. So then I kind of had my shower, and I wrapped up my ankle, and then I said, you know what, I'm going to go to work. So guess what I did? I got in the car, and I drove to work, and my ankle was really sore, and then I hobbled in to work, and I did my client. And after I'd finished my client, I was still sore, but I kept on going. And by about 2 o'clock, guess what? Boom. My ankle got way, way better. Now, if I wake up tomorrow and I can't walk, maybe I'm wrong. But as it stands today, I've had a very good day. Yeah, it's been a little difficult because it's been a little bit painful. Yeah, but I think that the message is it's just because you start the day in a certain way doesn't mean it's going to be like that for the entire day. Yeah, and I'm amazed at how much time people take off. Part of my success has been not taking too much time off. It's like being consistent for my clients and focusing on that, because your clients are king. And if you're not there for your clients, you might lose a client. And I don't want to lose any clients. So I work very hard to stay busy. I work very hard, and I'm very consistent. And as today turned out, it's been a long day. I've been on the road. I got up at 5. It's now 8 o'clock New York time, and we're here. We're filming. We're investing. We're putting things into the universe that will hopefully help to make us be more successful as we push through and push on. Yeah? And a job is a job, and it's a lot of work, and there's the good stuff and there's not so good stuff. But ultimately, at the end of the day, keep that focus. And, it's like when I was teaching class this weekend. I was teaching the class, and, we're taking sections, and we're teaching people. They say, how can I section better? Well, the more you comb it, the more you're going to get a better section. Yeah? The more you cut it, the cleaner your line's going to be. The more you practice, the better everything turns out. So by being in the game, it's going to help you get better. It's going to help you get stronger. It's going to help you improve your game. And you'll be surprised at the end of the year, you might realize that even though there's been some tough moments, because you were consistent, because you turned up, because you practiced, because you put some intention into the universe, you're going to start to get busy. We always say, when it's not busy, we're at our worst. Because when the salon's not busy, everybody goes into chill mode. Yeah? So look at yourself and think to yourself, when it's not busy, maybe that's when I need to step up and do even more. Because when you're busy, you do step up because you're forced into it. Busy Saturday, there's no rest. A quiet Tuesday, I might just feel like I'm in my sleepy zone. So I think the best piece of advice I can give anybody is in this business is turn up when it's quiet, turn up with a purpose to invest, make sure you have somebody to work on. Even if you don't have anybody to work on, grab a mannequin, practice, learn a technique. 3-4 weeks ago, I did a wedding. I don't really do weddings. So for me, it was a very new thing. It was a lot of work. The good thing about it was I got my mannequin and I practiced. And I spent a lot of time doing it. And I thought, is this really worth it? Well, it was worth it to me because I was learning a skill. And it was making my skill get better. So even after all these years in the hair business, there's always something to improve, and there's always something to work on.
That's so
and
true.
If you do those types of kind of things, I guarantee you're going to get busy. You'll not have a quiet summer. You'll have a busy summer. Yeah, you got to make success happen even when maybe it's not quite as busy. So my advice is definitely plan your day, focus on your day. I came here from a different country. Nobody knew who I was when I got here, but through intention, desire, I've managed to build myself a really nice reputation. And reputation, that's a good thing, because your reputation's not determined by you. Reputation's determined by other people. Yeah, I always say you leave your reputation in the room that you've just left, because they're the people who are going to be talking about you. And your reputation is an important thing. You want to have a good reputation. You know, I don't know what my full reputation is, but I do know that people think I'm a hard worker. They think I'm a high achiever, and my intention's pretty positive. Yeah, never always right, but nobody ever is. But the truth of the matter is if your intention's there, then you've got a good chance of creating good things for yourself. So if you're a new hairdresser, or if you're a hairdresser that's been around for a while, keep pushing on, keep your eyes wide open, and keep looking to build your business every day. And don't worry about the day. Don't even focus on the week, but really focus on the month. Yeah? Because you can save the week. If you have a bad day, you can save it. Yeah, that's what I look at today. Tomorrow's not looking too busy in Arroyo. We're not looking super busy. And it's a Jewish holiday. So what are we going to bring to make it busy? Hopefully, teamwork makes the dream work, and hopefully people will come and will come with inspiration, and we'll get some exciting stuff done. So we're busy. I always keep the plate pretty full. My plate pretty full. I've got a lot of stuff to go. We've got our big expo show coming up in just over 2 weeks. How's that going, Paris? Expo. Yeah. We're trooping through. We got about 10 tickets left.
Wow.
We were supposed to have a guest from Expo tonight, but she's not feeling well. And we weren't here in Brooklyn Live last week because Mr. Carlito was a little under the weather. But we're here today, and it's been a long day, and now it's time for me to go on the studio floor, and we're going to do a little bit of hair for you. And please feel free to get involved, ask questions. And while I'm walking over to the studio and getting set, let me show you a little bit of what to expect when you go to Expo. We've got 10 tickets left. It's in West Palm Beach, Florida. It is going to be a spectacular time, and you don't want to have FOMO. So definitely, go get a ticket and come and see us and be a part of our family for a couple of days and really feel the positive energy, because I think that's one of the things that Arroyo embodies is professional hairdressing and positive people. So we're super excited. Enjoy the video, and I'll see you on the studio floor. For the first time, Expo takes place outside of New York City. Join us from October 23rd to the 25th, featuring education, inspiration, and celebration. Education from the new generation of independent artists, including Peter Goslin, Jamie C., Corinna Hernandez, Soraya Spear, Garrett Markinson, Tracy Vasquez, and Kelly Cahan. From the Arroyo creative directors, Lena Arroyo and Paul Merritt, see our trend forecast for 2023. The itinerary includes a pre-game pool party, a rooftop sunset party, the Arroyo runway show, and trend collection, followed by a spectacular after party. Food and drink are included in the ticket, and we have special hotel rates for Expo guests. Let's come together to celebrate hairdressing. See you all in West Palm Beach, Florida. Good job. Harris is going to be there.
I'm going to be there.
Harris is going to be
get
there.
my much needed sand, hopefully.
Let me introduce you to Bella.
Hello, Bella.
Yeah, Bella. She didn't know she was going to get this done to her today, did you? No. My model cancelled. I had a model lined up and she cancelled, but we got into the school and found Bella.
Special
in
thanks.
the aesthetics class. You're training to be an esthetician, yeah?
Training to be an esthetician, got very lucky to be here.
Good.
It was a surprise.
Nice.
Well, Bella's got beautiful long hair and she wants to keep it long, okay? And her hair is really on the fine side. So, and it's not going to be a major makeover, it's going to be more of a make-under. But I think what we want to do first, well, we shampooed it with Shine Lux shampoo. And we used a little bit of the gentle conditioner, so it's a little bit lighter. We didn't want to weigh the hair down. And before I cut it, I'm actually going to pack it with volume foam. So a good way to help your clients understand hair care products is use them at the beginning. So you'll see I'm going to pump a lot of this volume foam in. The more you put in, the more you're going to get from texture. So let's put this right the way, and the way you apply products, in my opinion, is critical. Yeah? So you really got to make it, don't just slap the product in. You got to work the product through and make it feel like it's an experience. One of the things when I look at my aesthetics program, and I see some of Paris's amazing videos
thank you.
that he makes, it always looks so professional. And that's because our teachers are really practicing that professionalism. It's not just the service, it's the performance. So while the service is there for to actually improve somebody's skin or a feature, but the actual service is something. We're in the service business, so serve your clients really well. So you see I've really packed a lot of that volume foam right the way in. And then I'm distributing it right the way through.
So Nick, I have Franco from Identity Salon that's been wanting you to come up there and give some education.
Is that in Canada?
That is in Canada.
Nice.
It's
Right.
in Canada.
I love Canada. Where is that?
Let me see. Well,
Where in Canada?
that would be Sault Ste. Marie.
There you go. Well, if you
Saint
want to make
Marie.
it happen, make it happen. The only thing
He
to
said he
do-
won't stop until you're here.
If you want to make it happen, just email me,
All right.
Nick, because you know what? We just email me, Nick at Arrojo NYC, and we can let you know what we think could work so that we can make magic happen.
That's
And
pretty
here by
easy.
Suli says you're such an inspiration, and she's been loving the Tuesday lives.
Oh, thanks. Well, keep sharing it because the more we build this, the more enthusiastic we'll continue to be.
Nice.
So now I'm layering Bella's hair with this little puppy. This one's called Wave Mist.
Waveness.
This is our Beach Wave sea salt. I'm going to spray this in to just help dial up the thickness and the texture. So the whole objective today is to make Bella's hair retain the length, make it look and feel healthy, and give it a little bit more shape and more volume. So we're not going to be cutting sheets and sheets of hair off, but the nice thing with the razor is you can really be very, very fluid with it. So it's a simple shape, and I'm going to start from the front. She already has some short pieces in here, and the key thing is if you overlay this hair, what happens is it gets too weak on the bottom. So the razor is going to help me to not make the hair too, I'm not going to layer it too much. And I'm going to use a combination of scissor and razor. So we start off with our face frame and quite a thick section. You can see that is really quite a thick section based off of the hair texture. So being a great hairdresser is about judgment. First you learn the technique and then you learn the judgment. So you'll notice I'm just softly melting this front piece a little shorter, right here.
That's nice.
And then as we come in here, through the underneath, I'm going to connect, but I'm not taking a lot out. This is going to be very, very, very light. The razor's a very fluid tool, so it just helps you. And a lot of people say never razor fine hair. Well, don't over razor fine hair. You know, what I say is, if the hair is fine and you put a blunt line in it, the blunt line's going to look weak because the hair's too fine. But you'll see what I'm doing here is I'm softly just melting this away so that we had a little bit of action around Bella's cheekbones and her eyes. Second section, quite a thick, healthy section again. Combing this hair down. Now think about which way you're going to comb it and focus on those sections. We just did a 2-day classic scissor class. It was very successful. It was in our New York Academy. And then we have another class coming up before Expo, and that class is going to be my razor fundamentals, and I have 2 spots left on the class. So if you're interested, if you want to learn the razor, learn from me. I've been cutting with a razor for probably about 30 years. Yeah, and I was self-taught after I left Vidal Sassoon. I loved the Sassoon Precision, but then when I left Sassoon, I wanted to explore different ideas, and the razor was one of those things. And my journey to America was to work for Bumble. And when I got to work for Bumble, I brought my education experience and then helped to develop their educational programs in the Bumble, House of Bumble, as they called it, way back then.
That's right.
So there's not going to be a lot coming out right here, but this needs a little strengthening.
Let me see. I'm pushing in.
So you'll see right here, just needs a little more structure.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use the heel or the back of the blade. I'm using the edge. I'm not coming down the hair. I'm coming across the hair. I will do a little combo, scissor razor on Bella's hair. And I'm not going to overlay the back, because if she wants to keep it long, she needs that thickness. And the more you layer the hair, the less hair there's going to be on the edges. So that's why we don't overlay the hair.
You really are keeping the length, huh?
I'm going to keep it all, Cal.
Nice.
Wow.
I know you're jealous because you
Yeah,
you're jealous because you don't really.
Yeah, I don't have
you
length.
You said goodbye to yours a while ago.
Length is not a word I use in hair.
Noel Newt's hair says that they love watching you and love this, and it's so missed in our industry.
Oh, well, thanks a lot. I think the industry is going through a massive change. Intercoiffure was just here in New York City. That's the Salon Association for salons that only have employees. I think the industry's changing. It has been for years.
Yes.
The pandemic has helped us really push us in a different destination. And as we navigate, it's going to be interesting to see. One of the things that I say is, when I got into this industry, there was iconic brands.
Yeah.
And those brands were named after people like Trevor Sorbet, Tony & Guy, Vidal Sassoon, Jean-Louis David, Jacques Desange, and they had powerhouse salons. We don't have that so much anymore. What we have today is we have lots and lots of independent hairdressers who have social media followings.
Right.
And it's taking and people are working independently and autonomously. And that's really where studio, the concept that we have here. You're going to see we have a color concept, we have a retail concept, we have a membership concept, we have a playground concept, and this studio is also great for content creation. Because, you see now, you've got to create content because there's so much content out there. You've got to kind of create and show what you're all about. So hairstudiony.com is this space, and we're super excited by what we're doing with it. And stay tuned, because it's going to be a lot of fun. Keep those sections nice and clean. So you'll see her hair's a little compromised. She had a little bit of color in here. It's a little crispy. A little crispy.
Crispy.
But,
I think she's coming to the
a little-
studio to get that fixed.
it's a little
Nick.
fry, crisp, and dry.
Yeah.
Rice Krispie
So just
treats.
working through that.
Take it.
So you can only razor cut when the hair's wet or damp.
Yeah.
I will be putting the scissors into it. And we're going to bake it dry. Yeah, we're going to bake it dry. And as we bake it dry, what that means is you're going to see the hair texture change. Because right now it's just behaving like wet hair, because that's what it is. Wet hair.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And you'll notice that the way I comb this, you'll see there's really no layering. Really no layering in there.
Right.
Now it's time for me to repeat on the opposite side. So I'm going to repeat on this side. And then it will be scissor time. So nice, wide, healthy section again. I was in the salon today doing clients. I had about 4, I think maybe 5 clients today. Again, like I said, it's not such a busy day. I had a lot of interviews today. I mean, my life is very, very busy. Because, you're managing the business, you're doing the clients, you're planning for the future, you're planning expo, It's a lot of work, yeah?
A lot of work.
And every day there's always challenges, you know, but I think that's what makes it kind of fun. And I tell you what, if you keep yourself busy, it takes away from the negative energy. You know, so when you stay busy, you stay positive.
Excellent, yep.
Don't you think so, Carl?
Absolutely positive all day.
Positive all day.
All
Mr.
day.
Carl's got a nice positive demeanor.
Gotta love him.
Yep. So, you see, you can see the last cut, and I got the new cut in here. It's hard to see when you razor cut. You have to have what I like to refer to as like muscle memory. So you've got to remember where you are, because you're not following that clean line like you would do with a scissor. You're following a diffused line.
How's that shot? You can see it right there.
You can see it, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
And my Razor Fundamentals class is a 2-day class here in New York. And it's Sunday, Monday. And it's the weekend before Expo. So it's probably about the 17th, 18th. And all of our class information is on ArojoPro.com. We have a professional site. And then our consumer site is Arojo NYC. That has all facets of the brand. And you can find out everything that we're doing. As we get towards, this is the best time to be a hairdresser, as we get towards the end of the year, we know that Christmas is coming and the goose is getting fat. Is that what they say? Please put a penny in the old man's hat.
Oh.
Yeah? Do you know the rest of the song, Cal?
No, I
Sing
don't.
it.
Oh, come on, Carlito.
Come on. Is that a Scottish thing?
That's Scottish. I like Scottish to you, laddie.
It's Scottish.
Yes, no. Yeah. So, yep, Christmas is coming. We're going to get busy. Again, if I go back to the conversation piece about being successful, you know, the next 12 weeks of the year are probably the most important, because the chances are you're going to meet more new people over the next 12 weeks, because it's the busiest time of the year to be a hairdresser. Now, the most important thing is to try to get those clients to rebook. That's the most important thing, because you build your clientele, and a client's not worth the appointment. A client's worth the relationship. So I've had clients for over 25 years. Think about what those clients have given to me from a financial standpoint, and also from kind of a promotional standpoint. Yeah, ask your clients to help you get successful. Ask your clients to help you get busy. Yeah, that's the best way to go about it. Talk to your clients. Anything that you do is a walk-in advertisement, and any communication that you have, you're giving your clients a destination of how you want them to help you. When I started Arojo, I used to say, you got to give unconditionally. And that was always like, I mean, I'm amazed at how sometimes, you know, we don't like certain clients, or this one's not right, or that one's not right. I know, because I'm human, I get it. Sometimes, you know, you're not necessarily falling in love with every single client. But the trick of a successful stylist is to make yourself create a great relationship with those clients so that you can have success. Okay, razor work I think is kind of done, and the reason why I'm doing it like this is I want the hair to kind of dry a little. I want the hair to dry a little so I can see what it's doing. Now it's time for me to pick up my scissor. So I'm going to grab my scissor. Yeah, scissor time, like hammer time, eh?
Scissor time.
Click, click.
Now again, one of the things, classic cutting, I said just because you have a hole in the thumb doesn't mean your thumb goes through. And there's only one blade that moves. The only blade that moves is the top blade. It's just your thumb. That's it. I used to sit at home, practice this all day, every day. I used to practice on the bus coming home from work, and that always made sure that nobody sat next to me, so that was good on the bus. And I, practiced at home when I was watching TV.
Kind of weird around Halloween time, huh?
Yeah, it is pretty weird around Halloween time, and it is Halloween time.
Yep.
What are you dressing up as this year, Cal?
I'm ugly enough. I'm going as me.
I don't want you to ever say that ever again about yourself.
Carlito.
Carlito's
You're a
way.
very beautiful man.
Carlito.
Carlito's way.
Paris, do you get to do Do you get to do Halloween?
It's funny. Last year I won best costume.
You did? What
I
did,
was
what
the
did you
Macho
go
Man.
as?
I was the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Wow.
Randy Savage.
With the
Randy
full,
Savage.
With the full tights and the jacket with the fringes.
And the big muscles and stuff?
Without the muscles though.
Oh, pump it up. I'm watching you now. Show me what you got. Let me see. There it is. There he is, Randy Savage.
Randy Savage. It sounds like a porn star's name, doesn't it?
Oh, my. Oh,
Randy
no.
Savage. Randy Savage.
Well, we've got love from Brian Roberts Studio.
Hey,
and,
Brian. How are you, buddy?
And the Ashley J, as well as Roseanne Shuto.
Nice. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody. So I'm just lifting this hair straight out, and I'm just taking off a little bit of the crunch. Just kind of refining those edges. Yeah, she definitely wants to keep all her length, so she will. You know, and I think that's really important. You know, please your clients, build your reputation, please your clients, make your clients feel good. If you're really not into what the client wants, then you got to be really persuasive at being able to communicate why you don't think it's a good idea. Yeah, and that happens, and that's part of being a great hairdresser too. Being able to communicate the yeses against the nos. You know, so you should always think about what you want to, who you want to be, what kind of work you want to do. Listen to your client and educate them. And young hairdressers, you know, learn how to talk to your clients. Yeah, because that's a skill all in itself. The communicational piece of communicating with the general population. Because, you know, there's so many different personalities, and it will really, really help you and assist you along the journey of life if you become a great communicator.
You know, I'm always impressed at how you work with long hair. Look at, you don't stop moving, do you?
I don't stop moving. I make sure my comb gets right into the base.
Look at that.
I keep nice, strong tension.
Yeah.
You can see the clean tension. Look, I'm literally, you look how far away from the head I am.
It's
Yeah,
amazing.
I'm like,
It's
hello.
crazy.
Wow.
That's
Look at
crazy.
that, man.
You are
See, your
far
hair's
away, man.
long.
Josh the Bobslayer says you're a great mentor.
Oh, thanks, Josh.
And Christine Long says it's fascinating to watch you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. And this is simple. It's a simple shape. And the simple things are the best things. When it comes to design, anyway, I like simplicity. You know, to me, there's nothing sexier than an iPhone. Yeah, it's just like just a glass cube. Yeah.
Very
The
minimal.
only time it's not sexy is when you drop it and it smashes.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah, that's when it's like
once that
not
screen is
sexy at
done,
all. You
so-
know.
The lines be gone,
So the good news is the product's in.
right?
That's the good news here. The product's in the hair. So we love that the product's already in the hair. And that means that the product's working, that volume foam's going to pad out, and the wave mist is going to help to give the hair a little bit more grip. You know, it's going to give it a little bit more grip and a little bit more beachy, wavy kind of texture. And we're just nibbling away. And also, just this type of hair cutting when you point cut. You know, I remember being at Vidal Sassoon when I was a young hairdresser, so I've evolved, but I've not really changed, okay? Right. So what do I mean by that? I've evolved, but I've not really changed. I was like, okay, I'm in the Sassoon salon. I can't do anything apart from cut with a scissor, so how do I create a little bit of difference for me? So what I did was I decided that instead of cutting straight lines, I would cut chopped, jagged lines.
Wow.
And that created a little bit of a different perspective for the clients to look and see how I worked. So while everyone was doing like, you know, this kind of cutting or this kind of cutting, I was doing this kind of cutting. And that was my kind of point of difference. So now with the wide tooth of the comb, which I just dropped, but there's one right there, Paris, can you pass it to me?
Absolutely.
That black one.
Oh.
Right there, thanks, buddy.
There you go.
So what I'm doing is I'm just twisting and I'm combing fine teeth to get out she says it tangles a lot. Well, baby fine hair tangles a lot. You know, I know what it's like because I got baby fine hair too, you know? So it tangles a lot, but you know, if you want to make a hair look, we want to make a hair look full, So the idea is to try and work with the natural texture. Remember, what you was given at birth is what you was meant to have. Yeah, and even if you get something that's extreme, if you work with it as opposed to working against it, then there's a good chance you're going to get a better result. You know, that was one of the things that I loved about Vidal Sassoon. They always wanted to work with your natural hair texture. They didn't want you to work with texture. They didn't want you to blow dry your curly hair straight. You know, that was part of the design. And that, again, you know, hairdressing's changed, hasn't it? You know, Vidal Sassoon, if you walked into the salon with curly hair in 1980, you walked in with curly hair and you said, I want my hair blow dried straight, they'd refuse you.
Wow.
You know, the testament to the brand was so successful that they could refuse clients because they weren't worried about it. And it was all about the integrity of the hair. And I thought that was really good, to a point. Yeah, the only reason when I say to a point is when I said, well, if we're bleaching hair, why can we not blow dry hair straight? Plus, everyone's always so obsessed with fashion, and fashion's changed. Fashion shows have changed. Fashion Week was recently here in New York. It's still exciting. I met a lot of people that came to do Fashion Week.
Nice.
But it's not like it was 15, 20 years ago,
No.
where you had the tents in Bryant Park.
Yeah.
That really was kind of like a spectacle. And it was sponsored by Mercedes-Benz. But in this fast-changing, ever-changing world of social media, you know, people don't want to do that anymore. The designers are not doing that quite as much because by the time somebody sees it on the runway, it's in H&M the following day.
That is true.
Yeah, because they can just, you know, turn it out in a second.
Fast fashion.
Fast fashion.
Fast fashion. Good one, Paris.
All right, so we've done one side. Now I'm going to come through and I'm just going to kind of work on the second side.
Sherry Miller Salon says, amazing. Thank you for putting this out there for all of us to adore.
Oh, thanks, Shelley. I appreciate it.
Can I butt in?
Go ahead.
All right, we're on YouTube. Subscribe, share.
Yeah, that's a good
Subscribe
idea,
and
isn't it? We
share.
want to build the YouTube following because that is the most popular.
Yeah.
That's the most popular. And, you know, we've got a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing on YouTube. We're kind of putting our attention to that. And we're building this, and I appreciate you coming to hang out with us.
Yeah.
We did Brooklyn Live for about 4 years on a Thursday morning. And that was when Facebook Live first kind of came onto the scene. And it was very successful for us. And we did that for many years. And then we took a breather. Obviously, the pandemic made us take a breather, too. And now we're kind of back in that zone again, trying to share what we can to kind of create the community and also to share what we're doing. If the pond is calm, you need to throw a stone in it to create a ripple.
Very good.
If you don't
Nice.
throw a stone in the pond, it's going to stay calm. So what we're doing is we're putting things out there to create a little ripple so that we can build. Because, listen, trade shows are different. Trade shows are very different now than what they used to be. Hair shows are different. Even, you know, it's something like Intercoiffure, you know, that professional members club's different. The industry is fragmenting and changing. Talk about Expo for a little bit because this will be our 11th Expo.
Nice.
It kind of it's my type of an event. When I say my type of an event, it's my style. My style is very kind of low key, creative, and interesting, and that's what Expo is going to be. And we're celebrating other hairdressers who are not even part of our network. We're doing something that a lot of people don't do. We're putting different people on the platform that are not even necessarily not part of our community, but they're part of our industry. Right. And we're celebrating that professionalism of independent hairdressing. And we've got 8 great educators. And we've also got our Rojo creative team. And of course, we're always going to be hanging out with having a lot of fun because I like to have a lot of fun. So it's going to be a fun time. And the reason why we're doing it this year in Palm Beach is because last year with the pandemic, it was very difficult to get people in New York because of the vaccine. So now it's time to put this diffuser. This is the Arosio YS Park diffuser. And we're going to put this into the hair. This great diffuser. And this is the Arosio Dry. We've got a lot of new tools coming out. We tend not to bring out lots and lots of new products like a lot of brands do. Because once I've got the product mix that I need, I don't need to bring out another one. What we do as a brand is we improve our formulas. So we improve our formulas as we bring out new formulations. That's how we do it. But we do have a lot of new tools coming out, and just in time for the holidays. So we're excited about that. We're big on the retail. We like to share, we like to promote, we like our clients to purchase. We like to do the full service for the client, and that's really key. Now when you're diffusing the hair like so, try and focus on the roots more so than the ends. So you'll notice how the dryer is in here. And I notice I put my hand in between the diffuser and the head, because I want to feel the heat on my hand. When I feel the heat on my hand, what that means to me is I know how hot it is, because I want to keep my client comfortable. Just like when you're at the backwash, make sure you check in if the temperature's correct. The nice thing about this is like a sock, so you can rotate it and it doesn't disturb the hair. It really does not disturb the hair. You see how it doesn't blow the hair? Doesn't disturb the hair at all.
Yeah, that's a lot of finger work there. That's a lot of you aerating.
I'm getting into the roots. Now pop your head forward.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this. Pop your head forward. And now I'm going to get inside. Don't worry about the texture. We want that natural beachy loose texture for Bella. And just lift it. Try not to run your fingers through it. Just lift it, and then also just massage in the root. Just a little massage in there always makes the client feel comfortable. You know, that we're licensed to touch. That's one of the things that when the pandemic came and they said hairdressing is not allowed. Well, you know, I was a key person or a key figure in saying that we're licensed to touch. Mm-hmm. And when you're with your client, I mean, it's not that often that someone gets to touch you in a way that's helping to enhance you. But that's what hairdressing is. You're licensed to touch, and just very gently think about that. And you'll notice that the heat on the root is going to run down the hair, and it's going to dry the ends. The ends are going to dry quicker. But you want to bake it. That's why I said the word bake. I want to bake the product in. And I want to get the hair bone dry. When I first began my journey, I worked in another salon in Manchester, for Manchester, England, for a very short period of time. There was a gentleman. There's always something good to learn. There was a gentleman there that was really good with a diffuser, and he taught me how to diffuse hair. Because hair's a fabric, and every different texture is a different fabric. So the more you play, the more you experiment, the better you get. Right. And while we're baking this in, we don't want to disturb the ends too much. We just want to disturb the root. And when you roll your fingers on the root, it gives the body to the root. And also it lets the oxygen and the heat get in, so it starts to thicken the hair. The volume foam is going to fatten the hair, and the texture spray, the wave mist, is going to help with that texture. Now I've got plenty of other products at my disposal, and it's not over till it's over. Now we pick this up and we hold it, we pick it up and we hold it, we pick it up, we hold it, we put the dryer in there, high heat, high speed, and the diffuser does all of the magic.
Kelly says hi.
Kelly?
That's right.
Hey Kelly, how are you, love? Nice to see you.
And Josh says you mentoring him is so beautiful and it's so great. He loves you so much.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you a lot, buddy.
That's right.
Now just get into those roots. Languid and loose. I remember in the 90s, we got into undone hair. It was like hair that hasn't been done. And it's a lot easier, it's a lot harder than you think, undone hair. To make hair look like it's just not been done is not as easy. It's easier to make the hair polished. But right here, we're trying to get that beachy softness in.
Speaking of the 90s, what was the most difficult haircut you had to do back then?
Say that again?
Speaking of the 90s, what was the most difficult haircut that you had to do
Well, I
back
think
then?
the most difficult haircut's always the most difficult haircut, and that is a classic graduated bob.
Nice.
And that's what I was just teaching on my classic scissor class.
Nice.
That's kind of day 2. We get into that classic graduated bob, really pushing graduation, creating a weightless, seamless weight line, a shine line with the weight. And it was a fantastic class. We had some great students.
Great.
We had a lot of fun. If you've ever been to my classes, one of the things that we do in my classes is we just do hands-on. So we don't do any demos. I mean, I'll cut a little bit for as Simon says, so everyone can see what I'm looking to accomplish. But I don't do any, we don't do any demos. You don't sit down straight away. After the introductions, we are all together. And then we start working the hair. And we cut, and literally you got 11 hours of cutting. So 6 hours a day, 11 hours of cutting. Head all the way back. There you go.
Hair looks amazing.
So now I want to get in from the front. We don't want to disturb it too much because it's going to get a little fluffy. Yeah, you're going to get a little fluffiness. But I want to loosen it off the root. And I want to make sure that my client's comfortable. So you'll see I can just pinch this. And I can see there's still wet hair underneath. Just have a look right here. You can see it's just wet. Not you. She's looking too. She's got cameras everywhere.
He wants to see.
Right under here.
Where I see in one.
It's nice and hot. The hair's nice and hot.
Yeah.
But I'm keeping the texture, and don't panic about the texture. Yeah, sometimes you get that little bit of natural fluffiness. We calm that down with products, and never be scared of the hair. Sometimes you panic halfway through. Don't be scared of the hair.
Don't be scared of the hair.
And you'll see when you do this, and you rotate it, what happens is, you just put in more and more air. And because we're lifting it, we're getting volume into the hair. I'm going to turn that off for a second. Not finished yet. Just going to turn that off for a second. You don't know if it's dry until it's cooled down. Okay, so you just get your hands in. And as it cools down, I can kind of feel it. I can feel like where the moisture is. There's still some moisture in there. What I am going to do right now is I'm going to take this off. Okay, take that off and we'll just put that over there. And we'll start to push this hair. You start to see the volume in the hair.
Wow.
And now I'm going to add another hair fattener. This is called our texture. This is called Refinish. This is an amazing dry shampoo, but it's also a refinishing product. It's going to help to add some bulk, more bulk to her hair.
That goat rescue, style rescue, right?
Style Rescue.
That's right.
Okay, now head back for me again. So now that product is sitting on top of hair that's got product in it. And we want to loosen it up just a little bit more.
Claudia says it's coming out so good.
Good, thank you.
Got some good love on this one.
So I can feel it start to get fatter and fuller. Yeah, it's just like me when I'm having dinner.
Stop it.
Fatter and fuller.
Stop it. Just fuller. Just fuller.
Check out the screen, Paris. There's some comments.
Oh, we got some love from the screen right there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
we
Michelle.
sure did. Hey, Michelle. Hey,
Got
Alex.
Alex.
How are you?
Nita,
Who we got there? We got
Heidi.
Heidi.
That's all right.
Oh, and Eugene from Cleveland. Hey, yeah. I know my good friend Eugene from Cleveland. All right, now what I want you to do is just put your head forward. Just there. That's it. Just there. That's it, Cal. What you doing? Showing my bald spot.
I'm sorry, Braden.
Thanks, Cal.
No, it's.
See, he does it on purpose.
I was reading the screen. I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man!
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stylized one says hello.
Bang! That was a quick move.
Yeah, so we're also starting to do in-salon. So if anyone's interested in in-salon education, you know, we're bringing a lot of that back now too. People are traveling less, so we can travel more. I've got a couple of traveling gigs. If you're ever interested in finding out what that involves or what that entails, you can just contact me directly on my email. Email is nick@Arrojo NYC.
And we can go into your salon straight from Brooklyn.
Yes, you can.
Right here.
Nice.
There's salon education.
Now I'll take that off. Just turn it off one more time. I'll keep it there. And we're just going to shake it out even more.
Got some love from Atlanta from M. Galley.
Oh, nice. I like
Nice.
Atlanta. Been to Atlanta many times. Head back. It's like a yoga class.
Yoga.
It's like a yoga class.
Yoga hair. There's a new one.
Yoga.
Instead of hot yoga, yoga hair.
Yeah, so we've been at it all day today. You know, it's been a full day.
Yeah, you called me at 5 a.m.
I called Carl at 5 o'clock. I said, I don't think I can walk today, Carl.
Early
He said,
one.
oh, we're going to probably cancel. I said, well, let's see. Let me see how I get on. And, you know, it's like, I don't want to cancel nothing.
No.
Yeah, like I said earlier, consistency is king. And you don't know, I'm always amazed that when people call out, I say, you don't know how you're going to feel in 2 hours.
Right.
Yeah?
Right.
That's right.
You don't know how you feel in 2 hours and, you know, get the job done.
The hardest part
Yeah.
is getting up out of bed. After that, it's like autopilot. Eventually, you'll be okay.
Eventually.
So there she is. Look, it looks pretty full, doesn't it?
It looks very cool.
It looks
very
amazing.
full.
Look at that. Wow.
Are you loving it?
Are you loving it?
I haven't seen my hair like this in a while. It's
Nice.
definitely- very fun.
That's what it's all about.
That's what it's all about.
She was so stressed out when she walked in. I
Hey.
just like
Yeah,
chill
but Cal
out.
was there to calm her
Chill
down.
out. You're gonna be okay.
Cal's got that
Wasn't the
calming
cleaner.
way, the
Yeah.
maturity.
Okay,
He
trust me.
has that wholesome content. He has that.
Now, Cal,
wholesome-
you're driving to Florida with all the rig, yeah?
Yeah, man. It's gonna be fun.
Nice.
Can't wait.
And are you going to be? Did you get a new swimming costume, or as we like to say in England, a swimming costume?
I got a
new
swimming
bikini.
costume. Yes, I do.
We're going to get to see your
Call in the
abs.
bikini.
I bought it in Paris, so
Oh, it's not. That's not a costume. That's a hammock. That's a little pouch.
ouch.
That's a pouch.
Yeah,
With-
Parisian pouch.
2 eggs and a hanky.
Gotta
I
love
want my baby back, baby back, baby back. Ribs.
it. Gotta
Get in my
love it.
belly. I think Paris is going to kill it on the pool.
Yeah, I'm gonna wear my speedo.
Paris is going to kill it at the pool.
I'm gonna wear my speedo.
He doesn't have a speedo. He has a thong.
Ah,
Finger thong.
And we got an Arrojo DJ.
never.
We have an
a dull
Arrojo DJ.
Yeah, we do.
We do. We got Emma coming. She always brings the energy, which is exciting.
Yep.
Shout out to Emma.
So we like Emma bringing her DJ stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
She's doing really good.
Wow, look at that. Beautiful.
So you see, where's the before shot, Mr. Carlito?
You want to see a before shot?
Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
Not the before.
She's
There
waving
she
it off.
is.
Wow.
The little Juicy Lucy. Yeah, that was shampooed last month. Finishing touch. A little bit of dry conditioner.
Refresh it. Refresh it.
Yeah.
It's called Refresh. It's not a
Nice.
shine spray. It's just going to add a little bit. It just calms down the little fuzzy wuzzies. Just a little. It's actually hydrolyzed keratin. So this is great for your beachy blondes. And whenever I say dry conditioner, people always perk up because it's like it feels weird to them. What's a dry conditioner? Because most conditioners are usually wet.
Right.
But this is a dry conditioner. It's a great product. It's called Refresh. And it's hydrolyzed keratin, so it actually puts the strength back into the hair. So for somebody who's got like a lot of, kind of highlights in there, maybe the ends are a little dry, this is going to add strength to it.
Beautiful.
All right, guys. Well, I hope you've had a great time. We don't have any guests today because our guest who was going to chat with is sick. But we will be back next Tuesday, 8 o'clock. And we'll be ready for another Brooklyn Live. And I hope you had a good time.
Fred
And please
Jones.
definitely check us out.
Fred Jones is booked,
Fred Jones is booked.
and he's got some things going on. He's
Come on
Fred
over,
Jones.
Carl.
Got benefits.
I'm not
Hey.
happy unless people get to see you, Carl. I want them
on,
to know
Carl.
who
Hey,
you
now.
are. Yeah.
Yeah.
There he is. There he is. There he
This
is.
boy can cut some hair.
There
Look
he
out.
is. There
Look
he is.
out.
There he is.
Awesome.
All right, guys.
Are you happy? I
I'm
told you.
super happy.
I told you.
I
Don't
have to
sweat.
wash my hair.
She's got it. She's now I'm going to
you
wash
so
it now. It's
much.
going to last at least another 6 months. All right. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks to Paris. And thanks to Carl. And thanks to Bella. And we'll see you
can all go
same
shopping
time,
at Bigelow.
same place here at hairstudiony.com. Check us out. We'll
And
see
don't
you
forget
then.
to come to Expo, October 23rd to the 25th.
You
2
got it.
days, West Palm Beach.
Come and see Paris's thong.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's gonna wear a thong and he's gonna think a thong.
All right, Sherry, we'll see you there.